Bulan Mei, insyaAllah, akhir bulan Mei.
For the first time, we are organizing a summit of ASEAN heads of state together with the leaders of the Gulf nations. We've also invited China.
Dan kita juga jemput negara China.
Three vibrant economies, advocates of free trade, open cooperation, and multilateralism, are gathering in Malaysia this week. Why has the summit invited China, and what can China bring to the trading and geopolitical dynamics in the region and beyond? To understand, let's first look at the landscape of both blocs. ASEAN, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, has produced a model mechanism to boost regional cooperation among 10 member states. It has been a major global manufacturer and agriculture product exporter, integrating the supply chains in the Asia-Pacific region through agreements. Intra-ASEAN trade continues to strengthen with steady growth of inward foreign direct investment flows into the bloc in the past decade. The collaborative approach of ASEAN has enabled the bloc to navigate complex geopolitical challenges, foster dialogue, and drive growth.
The ASEAN way has always adhered to multilateralism, openness, and balancing the dynamic relations among major countries. But ASEAN is now facing greater geopolitical pressure to take sides than before and emphasizing resilience, cohesion, and community building.
And GCC, the Gulf Cooperation Council, holds significant geopolitical influence due to 6 member states' vast oil and gas reserves, which are the core of the global energy supply chain. Thus, their investment matters a lot to the global financial market. For instance, when uncertainties such as the US-China tariff war or the regional conflicts emerged, the bloc had to adjust its oil production with the fluctuation intensified in the global commodity market.
In recent years, GCC countries are looking for a new development mode to more sustainable development way, including to transform to fields like digital economy and green economy. And they also seek for more potential cooperations with China and ASEAN countries. They have a complementary advantage for each of the sides.
In Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where the ASEAN-GCC summit first took place in 2023, the two blocs wrote out a cooperation plan to facilitate political and security dialogue, trade and investment flows, and negotiations for a free trade agreement or FTA to boost trade between the two regions could see a breakthrough at the upcoming summit. Now, China is on board, definitely not a new partner, but a catalyst support. In 2022, ASEAN became China's largest trading partner, surpassing both the US and the EU, which has expedited negotiations for the China-ASEAN FTA since then. And just a week ahead of this summit, China and ASEAN signed an upgraded protocol heralding a China-ASEAN mega market in a 3.0 regional cooperation.
Given the rising protectionism, particularly the US's additional tariffs, the stability and security of industrial value and labor chains in the region are concerning to China and ASEAN. The new version of the China-ASEAN FTA precisely focuses on emerging economic fields and trading rules and resilience, playing a significant and exemplary role in deepening trilateral cooperation of trade and investment.
As the world's largest energy importer, China seeks stable oil and gas supplies from GCC nations who view China as a stable market in turn. And both have pursued an FTA to reduce tariffs and streamline energy and non-oil trade over the last 2 decades. The two sides at the summit are hoping to accelerate the FTA discussion.
There are also a large capital flow between China and GCC countries in the renewable energy fields. So they are very happy to have more Chinese firms to invest in countries.
Amid promising trade deals, U.S. President Donald Trump's targeted campaign against imports has escalated into a full-blown economic confrontation, shattering long-held assumptions about the stability of global trade. And Trump believes tariffs on China and other nations would force them to make compromises on the renegotiating table. And Beijing disagrees. That hasn't been the way China and ASEAN achieved the landmark trade deal, as well as with GCC nations potentially. This mutually beneficial and pragmatic cooperation sends a clear and important signal to the world that free trade and multilateralism are always the key to global development.
无论是海河国家还是东盟国家哈。
Countries across the two regions are strategically pivotal to the U.S. Washington also expects Southeast Asia to exert pressure on Beijing. However, ASEAN is fully aware of China's role in economic stability and certainly in the region. I believe the summit is undoubtedly a setback in the United States' diplomatic strategy.
受挫。
The currency of diplomacy could be the trading partnership as long as it is fair, just, and sustainable. And the ASEAN-GCC-China summit is more than diplomacy. It could reshape the landscape of global governance that will determine the long-term security and prosperity of the regions.